Welcome to Save Federal Taxes Legally. I'm so glad you could make it. I hope you have pen and paper and a cell because you might want to take some pictures. Well, I'm going to start it off with 3 questions, then I'll tell you about my story, and then also some of my clients. So let's get started. In chat, please put yes or no, or Y or N with the 3 questions. First question, do you want to save a legacy from generation to generation? Please put yes or no in the chat. Question number 2, yes or no, do you want to save federal taxes year after year, generation after generation? And if you aren't sure, just put a question mark in the chat because some people might not know what I'm going to be talking about. And question 3, do you know the following families? The Rockefellers, the DuPonts, the Carnegies, and the Kennedys. Please put yes or no into the chat. My name is Sally Gimmon, and I am the owner of thetrustisyou.com and the podcast, Stop Paying Capital Gains Now. My goal is to teach as many U.S. Business owners, 1099 income earners, and investors about the Spendthrift Trust. It is legal. It is patented. It's in the IRS Tax Code 643B. It comes from England way back when King Henry VIII got in trouble for chopping off his wives' heads. He started the Church of England. He went to go to tax the lords and ladies of England to get taxes for his church. The lords and ladies of England went further back into history to Magna Carta and said, no, King Henry VIII, you can't do this. And that's where it comes from, contract law. It came to the United States while we were still a colony. The law firm I work on behalf of that has the patent on this trust, the Benson Financial Trust, is 72 years old patent. The law firm I work on behalf of has inherited a trust that turned 350 years old in 2023, before we were a country. Now, the Spendthrift Trust is going to save you in 4 very important ways. Number 1, federal taxes year after year, generation after generation. Who doesn't want to save federal taxes? Number 2, it's going to keep your information 100% private. Unfortunately, there's a false rumor out there that your LLC or your S Corp will do this. That is not true. I can write a Freedom of Information letter to the Secretary of State or the Corporation Commission and get all that information on the certain LLC. Number 3, I can't stop you from being sued, but you will no longer pay any judgments if you are sued. This is saving my clients who have rental income thousands of dollars. Again, old adage from Nelson Rockefeller, own nothing, control everything. The individual is worth nothing, everything's in the trust. And number 4, if you have not heard about the 2024 Corporate Transparency Act that is coming out January 1st, I want to share my screen right now to show you a little bit about this. This is going to go into effect January 1st, 2024. It's part of the 2020 Anti-Money Laundering Act. If you do not do this, you could either be fined $10,000 or be in jail for 2 years, or both. Now, if you are currently an LLC doing business as or a corporation, you have until January 1st of 2015 to file the paperwork. If you start a new LLC doing business as or corporation, you have 30 days starting January 1st to fill out this paperwork. If you fill it out incorrectly, you could be charged $500 a day until it's done correctly. Just to give you an idea, if you hire somebody on Fiverr in the Philippines and do not fill out their information to the Financial Crimes Network, you could be charged $500 a day until they tell you, whoops, you missed a step. That's insane. Now, how this is going to be run is banks and credit unions are going to tell the Financial Crimes Network, a division of the Department of Treasury, any suspicious activity on accounts in their banks. If the Financial Crimes Network investigates and does say it's money laundering, they seize that property and sell it, the bank or the credit union will make between 35% to 40% on all profits. The banks are in cahoots with the federal government. I have 2 different documents that I will email to you if you want to learn more about the 2024 Corporate Transparency Act before it goes into effect January 1st. They're not even talking about this yet. It's a little bit scary, but I want to help as many people as possible. Now, with these trusts, I do talk about 4 different trusts. I want to make sure you know about them. First one's the business trust. This is for U.S. business owners, 1099 income earners, to save federal taxes. The second trust is for investors. I don't care if you're a passive investor, a real estate investor, a crypto investor, stock market investing, a day trader, forex trader, or have royalties, you're going to save taxes. The third trust is a charitable trust. And the fourth trust is for the seniors who are over 65 years old and on Medicare. Today, I'm only going to be discussing the business trust and the beneficial trust. So the business trust is for anybody who makes 1099 income. I'm sorry, if you're a W-2 employee, a W-2 income earner, it will not go through the trust. You still have to pay FICA and everything else. But if you have a side hustle, you should listen up on this. This is an actual client of mine, Roberto. Back in February, whoops, go away. Back in February, I had taken my friend Ingrid door knocking. It's a pizza parlor we like. They have the best white pizza. We walked in, sat down about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and sat there for about 3 hours chit-chatting. As we got up to leave, Roberto, the owner, asked me for my business card. A week later, I met Roberto and his wife, Marianne, at the pizzeria to talk about their taxes. They have 2 pizzerias. They're making about $15,000 per month, which is about $180,000 a year. They file jointly, and their tax rate is 22%. Unfortunately, it's a taboo subject in the United States to talk about death and taxes. It's a little bit confusing. There are 7 different layers from 10% to 37%, 7 different layers, and 4 ways to file your taxes. Again, so it gets a little bit confusing, but they brought their taxes, their 2022 taxes, to this meeting at the pizzeria. In 2022, they paid before deductibles $30,215 in federal taxes on that $180,000. I explained to them I can legally say they're going to save 70% on federal taxes, straight out before deductibles. Roberto said to me, "That's icing on the cake. Just tell us the minimum." So I said 70% is going to be $21,150.60. He and his wife were ecstatic. I explained most of my clients are up in 90% to 95% saving in federal taxes. I personally saved 92% on my 1099 income in 2022. While we were sitting there talking, the 2 of them came up with this plan that in 2024, the full year of saving federal taxes, they're going to open a 3rd pizzeria. And in 2025, they'll open a 4th location. They plan to work until 2035 and retire. They're going to leave 2 pizzerias to one child, 2 pizzerias to another child, and they will not pay inheritance tax. And the children will also save 1099 income with the Business Spendthrift Trust. This trust is an amazing trust that helps so many small businesses save money. Now, I'm not trying to crow, but here are some of the clients I am helping right now. The real estate agent. This is just one house she sold August 31st, 2023 here in the Charlotte area. I believe the price on the house was over $750,000. It was one of those McMansions. The business coach. This is his business. This is how much he's saving as being a business coach, and also we're saving him on dividend income. So that's a little bit different. The Etsy store owner. She sells earrings. The franchisee has 4 sub shops. The real estate broker, the Amazon store owner. Kind of a fun story. She got laid off April 2020 because of COVID. She's a single mom with 3 kids and 2 dogs. The dogs chew on chew toys, so that's what she sells. Commercial lighting salesman and an HVAC owner. In chat, if you don't mind, go ahead and put in chat what you would do if you were saving 3 figures, 4 figures, or 5 figures every single year on federal taxes. Would you pay off your mortgage? Would you buy a new car? Would you take your family on a family vacation? This trust is going to help so many people out there, and that's my goal to tell people about this. Now, next trust I want to talk about is going to be the beneficial trust. The beneficial trust is for everyone any investor. Again, if you're making profits, you're going to be saving on this. Let me share this with you. The beneficial trust will save capital gains, short term, a year or less, 10% to 37%, depending on your tax bracket. Long term, it will be 15 or 20%. Interest income, if you are a passive investor, seller financing, the Burr strategy, I have 12 notes. Dividend income, if you are a day trader, you have stocks that pay dividends. If you're a binary trader, an options trader, just one thing about option trading, you're paying 40% for a year or less, 60% for a year or more. Rent rolls, yes, you can take depreciation, but remember, you're going to save, keep your information private. Your LLC does not do this. And you're going to also not pay any judgments if you get sued. My clients who have rental income love this trust. And royalties, you're paid a little bit less, between 10% to 35%. Again, it gets very confusing with what goes on with taxes. This is why I am inviting you to set up a 30-minute tax breakthrough session with me to discuss your situation. Now, in reality, most CPAs and financial advisors have never heard of the Spendthrift Trust. To help tell your CPA or your financial advisor that this is honestly true, there is a textbook that that trust attorneys study in law school. There are over 1 million attorneys in the United States. Only 4% are trust attorneys, and most of them only sell what's called the family trust. This is what my mom and dad had, and this is what Susie Orman talks about on television. The only thing the family trust does is avoid going through probate, and then it dissolves. The textbook I'm going to suggest for your financial advisor or your CPA to read is called Scott and Asher on Trusts, 5th edition. This is not for you. This is a textbook that they use. Now, again, with the family trust, I'm dealing with this with my mom and dad's situation. This is not your mom and dad's trust. My personal story, just so you know it, back in October of 2018, my oldest nephew got married in Charlotte, North Carolina. My mom and dad drove from Goodyear, Arizona, which is about 20 miles west of Phoenix, to they were going to be gone for 2 weeks. Along the way, my mom got dehydrated and she got septic in the blood, and she was on a ventilator for 13 months and in a hospital for 15 months. I was working as a Medicare broker. I worked until 8 o'clock, open enrollment. I worked until 8 o'clock the night before the wedding, drove myself to the parking spot, and then got a ride to the airport, and I did a red eye to the Charlotte area. My nephew picked me up. Family tradition, when we come in at red eye, we go to IHOP for breakfast, and then we went to the hospital to see my mom. My nephew and I walked in, and the priest was giving her last rites. I'm going to be honest, my world kind of stopped moving. I knew my mom was sick. I didn't know she was that sick. Went back to my brother and sister-in-law's house, took a shower, went to the wedding at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, had a great time. On the next day, on Sunday, we had lunch, and I went to go see my mom again, and I had to fly back at 2 o'clock in the afternoon back to Phoenix because I had to be at work at 6 a.m. Monday morning because I was working Michigan hours and I was in Arizona. So crazy, crazy weekend. I'm living in Phoenix. My mom and dad stayed in Charlotte for over 9 months. My dad had only been planned to be gone for 2 weeks. So 3 times a week, I was going out to their house in Goodyear to do the mail and send it to my dad. In December of 2018, a letter that was 27 pages thick was my mother's Medicare statement for her first month in the hospital. When I opened it up, the paperwork was folded in half. When I unfolded it, it said in big, bold, black letters, $172,000. Yikes. My dad was a retired military officer, and they had TRICARE for life. So she was getting the best care possible. She got better, and she did come home. I was sitting in my parents' kitchen, and I called my friend Glenn on my cell phone saying he had invited me to a real estate meeting in August of 2018. And I said, hey, let me get through open enrollment, and then I'll think about it. I called Glenn and said, I need to change my life today. He's like, Sally, we're having a Christmas party next Saturday. Bring a $5 gift and a dish and meet some people. Best decision of my life. Went to the party, knew nobody, but started real estate investing. In 2019, I was still working full time as a Medicare broker, and I wholesaled 7 bank-owned properties. My mentor, Jay Tannenbaum, taught me how to do this. With my 2019 taxes in April 2020, I had to get on a payment plan with the IRS. I'm going to be honest, I didn't know, I was doing quite well. Working, I was a 1099 income earner, and I was selling all these bank-owned properties. I had to get on a payment plan. Low point in my career, I don't like to tell people that. But if it happened to me, it's happened to many other people. Fast forward, in July of 2020, I took down the deal of the week. It was a bank-owned reverse mortgage. I'm going to share my screen. It was a bank-owned reverse mortgage house that I paid $20,000 for, and it was going to go to auction for $50,000. So that $30,000 spread in between at 24% tax rate, because I was in trouble with the IRS, I knew I was going to pay over $7,100. Remember that date, July of 2020. It's the middle of COVID, and it did not go to auction until August 28th of 2021. In my national real estate group, there's a gentleman who wrote a book called What the Rockefellers Do. The Rockefellers Trust is 7 generations old and has almost 400 people in under the same EIN number. And I figured if the Rockefellers can do this, I can do this. My background, yes, I was an insurance agent at that time, but my background was competitive intelligence. I started researching to find out more about the trust, and I found the private law firm that I work for that has the patent on this trust. In September of 2020, I started the trust and I moved this property. I bought it with my LLC. I did 2 bills of sales, one from my LLC to me, second bill of sale from me to the trust, and all my other properties have gone through this. So on August 28th of 2021, it started at $50,000 and went up to $64,326. Yay, Sally, I made $44,326 on that first transaction in the trust. More importantly, read the last line. I saved $10,368 on that first property. I'm not trying to crow. I'm just trying to tell you what I personally have done. I have done 29 real estate wholesale deals since then. I have a crypto bot. A friend of mine, like my friend Glenn, who got me into real estate, does my options trading. And I have 3 online businesses. Oops, it's not going forward. In 3 years, September of 2020 to October 2023, I have saved over $177,000 in interest income, capital gains, 1099 income. I'm just trying to show you what I have done. I'm not trying to crow or anything else. Now, in reality, most people have no idea about where taxes come from. Back in February of 1913, the US federal government put the current tax code into effect. Those Barron families I asked you about, the Rockefellers, the DuPonts, the Carnegies, and the Kennedys purposely put this into 643B way up here in the tax code. I'm not making fun of accountants. I'm dyslexic. I transpose numbers. But most accountants work in the 300, 400 level and file 1040 tax returns. All 4 trusts that I work with, the business trust, the beneficial trust, the charitable trust, and the senior trust, file a 1041 tax code, a tax return. A little bit different and saves thousands and thousands of dollars. Please put into chat what you have taken away the most about this trust. I'm using it. It's legal. It's patented. It's in the IRS tax code. It's an amazing thing. Now, one of the things I do want to talk about that I had shown in another slide is when you sell a business in the United States, any business, it could be a marketing company, it could be a car wash, it could be a restaurant, it could be an Amazon store. But when you sell a business in the United States, you're going to pay either 15% or 20% on profits. This happened December of 2022. A son saw my TikTok video and put a message on TikTok saying, "Hey, can you help my parents?" I said, "Yes, I need to get them on Zoom." The father, Jim, and his wife, Ann, had never been on Zoom before. They were going to sell a 42-year-old restaurant March 30th, 2023 for $3 million. Everything in it. All the food, the recipes, the cutlery, everything. So when I got them on Zoom, I explained to them that I am not a CPA. I work on behalf of a law firm that sells the Spendthrift Trust, and they were going to pay capital gains, either 15% or 20% because it's more than a year. So at 15%, they would pay $460,000 April 15th, 2024. If it's at 20%, they would pay $600,000 April 15th, 2024. Jim's like, "What do we do?" And I said, "I need to talk to your business broker. I'm going to send you the application, fill it out, get it back to me. We're going to send you the EIN, the employee identification number, to set up a new bank account, and you will not have to pay for the trust until you get paid for selling your restaurant." He's like, "I'm going to save 6 figures. Sign me up." I'm like, "Well, let me talk to your business broker." So I had a meeting with Sam, his business broker. Sam's like, "I've never heard of this." And I'm like, exactly, Sam. I can help you get more clients, help your clients save federal taxes, and help other people. Sam says the gentleman who's buying this restaurant is going to be his 7th restaurant, and that can I tell him about the business trust? I'm like, "Of course." The gentleman who bought the restaurant got a business trust. Because Sam referred him to me, Sam made $600. Sam also went back to all his other businesses, people who bought car washes, people who bought an Amazon store or another restaurant. And he has sent me 9 more clients, and he has made more money on that. Well, on closing day, March 30th, I got an unlisted phone number from Kentucky. I usually don't answer them, but I was afraid something was going wrong. It was Anne, the wife, who was crying happy tears. She knew about the trust, but didn't realize how much they were saving. She wants to contact David of My Lottery Dream Home. It's on A&E TV. I've never seen the program. And she wants to contact him to find them a 2-bedroom, 2-bath condo 5 miles from their daughter, who has the 3 grandchildren. That's an amazing story. Again, I get to work with my clients saving all kinds of money, and the business brokers. In chat, please put in your biggest takeaway on this. Now, results and benefits. My goal is to help as many Americans, first off, learn about the Spendthrift Trust, answer their questions, and then help them save federal taxes. U.S. business owners, 1099 income earners, and investors. Now, my clients are doing amazing things with the money they're saving. They're opening up 2 more pizzerias. They're starting charities. They're buying condos. They're putting money away. They're helping their children pay off student loans. It's all kinds of stuff. Now, the next section, time and money. Those are my 2 biggest excuses of why people don't want to do this. I can understand that the trust costs money and it's time. This next slide I'm going to share with you is an actual person, a person in my real estate group where I run a mastermind. He had been to my meeting 3 times, and on February 7th, 2021, he went the 4th time to door knock on this house in the evening. He didn't watch Tom Brady win his 7th Super Bowl. Shame on him. He found the adult daughter about to drive back to Los Angeles on I-10, and she was waiting till twilight because her car didn't have air conditioning. He was able to stop the auction that was going to happen March 2nd, 2021. He was able to give the daughter, pay off the father's 2020 vehicle, give it to the daughter and some money, and he wholesaled the house for $50,000. He told me, I need to pay down some credit card bills. I can't afford the trust now. He knew he's at 22% tax rate. So on April 15th of 2022, he got a payment plan just like I did and had to pay $960 a month and started Ubering 6 nights a week. He's a retired preacher. He does not work on Sundays. Unfortunately, he started this in April. Unfortunately, in September, his wife fell and broke her hip. He could not go Ubering until one of his grown children came and sat with her because she was bedridden. Since starting the trust, he has done 5 more wholesale deals at $50,000 a piece. So he has saved over $55,000 in short-term capital gains. Fantastic. Again, I'm inviting you to a 30-minute tax breakthrough session to learn how much I can help you save in federal taxes. It's important to me because I want other people to know about this. Now, one of my coaches said I should talk about this, but every time I sell a trust, I also make a $100 donation to St. Mary's Food Bank in my mother's name. My mom grew up in rural Ireland, and my grandfather died December 1939. She was in Donegal. She grew up food insecure. My mom was only 5'2", and her hands were bigger than were an inch and a half longer than my hands. I can palm a basketball. I'm 5'10". My brother's 6'4". When my mom came to the United States and she met my dad in Alaska, she became an American citizen. She was appalled that children in the United States go to bed hungry. So she volunteered at St. Mary's Food Bank when we were kids, and then she also donates to St. Mary's Food Bank. So I donate in her name to St. Mary's Food Bank. Now, I redid this program because unfortunately, when I did it live, somebody was on their cell phone. So I do want to share this with you so you can see this information. What is happening here? You can make an appointment with me at thetrustisyou.com scheduling. The website is The Trust Is You. And then if you would like to become an affiliate of mine, tell other people, make a second stream of income for yourself, or and help other people save taxes, The Trust is www.thetrustisyou.com affiliate. My big promise to you is when you make an appointment with me, I am going to share with you a PDF copy of that book called What the Billionaires Do, 2 pages of case law. And if you start working with me in the law firm, you have an entire team behind you to help you transition from an LLC or an S corp into the trust, or if you're doing business as you are, into it. So please make an appointment with me so you can start saving taxes. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great day.